front men, and Philly checks in trouble, and it's Jefferson puts it away. Living reflections from a dream.
Yeah, guys, and welcome back to the Frangerine Dream with me, Streetlight Franifesto. And welcome back to Blackpool, where just like the seagulls indigenous to these lands, we are flying high and we are shitting on everything down below us. First place in the bloody league after 15 games. Granted, we're only above Sunderland on goal difference and only above Leeds by 1 point. But I'll take this. I will take this. This is a great start. This is maybe as good a start to a season I've had as Blackpool manager. Let's have a quick catch up then. We've not made any signings obviously, but we have played some matches. We lost to Norwich and to Nottingham Forest and Bristol City, both 1-0. Those two were very annoying matches. Those two, they were very even matches. I'd say we edged both of them, but we didn't make any good chances. We didn't put together any good moves, and we couldn't finish off the ones we did put together. So it's probably fair enough that we lost them, but they were frustrating. We also drew with Leeds and Huddersfield. Those of you who have been watching a while will know a 1-1 draw with Leeds is not bad going for us. I think was it our first season or our second season in the Championship? We lost 5-0 to Leeds, with Stuart Dallas being a real pain in the arse, and he was pretty invisible for that game, so that was good. And in terms of wins, we have done very, very well. In our wins, we have scored 8 and conceded 1. We beat Millwall 3-0, goals from Ben Close and 2 from Adi O'Brien. We beat Brighton 3-1, with the goals coming from Phyllis Kirk, Owen the Impact Jones and George Hurst. Phyllis Kirk also getting a goal disallowed, so that was, still promising. And George Hurst's first goal for the club, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that was his first goal. He's got 2, so maybe it was. And then, as a result of these 2 losses, which I've already mentioned were very frustrating, we couldn't put chances away, a few days before this Sheffield Wednesday game, there was an under-23s match, and I always have a little glance at, who performs in these under-23 matches, and in the under-23s match, Stuart Wardle scored a hat-trick and Barry Smith got 1 goal. And so I thought, our strikers haven't been doing it for the last couple of days. Let's throw these guys in together. Have a very young strike partnership. Stuart Wardle is currently 20 years old, and Barry Smith is currently 20 years old as well. So a very young strike partnership. And is there anything more satisfying in Footy Manager than this? You try something a little bit risky, a little bit out of the ordinary for your team, and just to see it pay off like that. They each scored a goal in a 2-0 win. Fucking fantastic job. So yeah, we have been giving youth a bit of a chance, and it has paid off so far. Charlie Adam is still yet to find his feet. He's definitely going to be injured for this first game of the episode, but then we've got an international break, so he should be back for the second one. But yeah, he's only been coming into games from the bench, so not made much of an impact so far, but he may do going forward. And another bit of exciting news. Oh, such good news. Ash Kigboot made his first appearance for Nigeria. He has switched allegiances from England to Nigeria, which I'm absolutely fine with. I want him to go and play international football. And again, one of the most satisfying things on the game, you pick up a kid who's been kicked out of one of the big teams. You train him up a bit. He puts in just some fantastic performances. Look at these average ratings for him. Each season, so consistent, so solid. And he finally gets rewarded with a cap. He came on as a sub for Nigeria as they beat Tunisia 3-0 and just gave a solid display, as of course he would, because he's Ash Kigboot. But yeah, I was like a proud dad. I was watching the game on TV. I was beaming from ear to ear. Fantastic. Well in, Ash. So if you hadn't already gathered, things are going very well, and I'm very, very pleased. We are going to get into the first of these games today, which is Brentford. Brentford at home. And then we'll have an international break and come back for Sunderland away. Let's kick off. Now then, this is a good fucking team. We're playing against Brentford. Let's have a look through this squad. They've got Sergio Romero, obviously ex-Manchester United goalkeeper, on close to £50,000 a week, because that's just how Brentford roll these days. They've got James Bree, the once promising right-back on loan from Newcastle. He looks quite solid at the age of 23. They've got Subotic, Neven Subotic, who is still just a brick shit out of a man, isn't he? I think we can punish him with pace, actually. We've got as I say, a very youthful front line, so we might be able to punish him. And especially so because next to him is Lewis Dunk, who in fact has more pace than I thought he did when I first saw his name, but he's not particularly fast, so I think we can punish him here. I'm not sure who Fulcure is. They've got Idrissa Gana Gay, who is just going to be a bulldog in the centre of that midfield. Not only is he very, very good, which he already is in real life, now he's experienced as well. Now he's 32 years old. His pace is dropping off a bit, but he's still going to be a very tough man to get around in that centre midfield. Then on the right wing, they've got Feghouli, Sofiane Feghouli, once of West Ham United. Still looks quite good, even at the age of 31. Still pretty quick and a good winger, it looks like. Not too sure who Fossum is. They've got Callum Brannigan, who is a very decent championship playmaker. I had him in FM16 in my Doncaster Rovers save, and he was just an absolute stalwart for the club. They have got Usami on the left wing, who I've not heard of. 29-year-old Japanese winger. That'll be good for their shirt sales in Asia. Get him a little bit of extra cash. But he looks fairly quick and a decent dribbler. Good finishing as well. Looks like a handy player, actually. Bit put off by these mental stats, but still. And then there's James Wilson. James Wilson is the lone striker up top. James Wilson, good finish, quick, good off the ball, composed in front of goal. He'll be a decent poacher. He will be a decent poacher. But I think that's all he's got in his locker. So I'm fairly sure that Ash Kigbu can shut down these physical stats, can keep up with him. And if we can stop the passes coming into him, we should be okay. Not that worried. Which means we're absolutely going to record a fucking 5-0 loss with Wilson getting all 5 goals. Our team is the same as pretty much the same as the team that lined up against Sheffield Wednesday. We've got Ruddy in goal, Freeman, Kigbu, Wilson and Higham across the back, Mark O'Kane, Jay Fulton and Ben Close in midfield. Brad Potts has had to drop out because I foolishly let him play a under-23 match about 2 days ago, so he's not quite match fit at the minute. But it's okay. Ben Close is a more than able deputy, and he has had that initial little whinge about not getting first team football. I managed to placate him. He's fine, but this can only help that cause. So that's fine. Kieran Dowell is the number 10 behind Stuart Wardle and Barry Smith, who are our starting 2 strikers. You can see I've showed you Wardle so many times now. He's just a good, solid Danny Philliskirk style striker in that he'll be good at picking the ball up, he works hard for the team, he gets into good positions, he makes good decisions, all of which are very good things. He's not too great at the things that strikers traditionally do, which is score goals, but I still think we can make something out of him yet. And Barry Smith up front. I'm just realising we're not actually going to be able to take advantage of Subotic at all with our pace, are we? Because neither of them have got much pace at all. Maybe we'll change that at half-time. But Barry Smith is the lad who made his full debut in the last match against Wednesday and scored his first goal about 13 minutes in. He's a great finisher of the ball. Again, good decisions, good off the ball, good teamwork, and a good strong player as well. He was one of the strikers. He was one of my only 2 or 3 signings last summer when we had absolutely no money. So he's finally maybe starting to come good. We've got a corner early on. Dowell hits it to Kane on the edge of the area. Oh, Michael Kane, is it taking a deflection? It has a Fulquier. I took several large steps to get that name from A to B, but fuck yeah is absolutely that guy's name. That is absolutely not an own goal though. He barely touched it. It certainly didn't affect the flight of the ball. But even so, Sergio Romero shows why Manchester United got rid of him. I've not given an opposition player a nickname since... what was his name? Count Waffula. In my Sheffield FC save, I called one of my opposition players Count Waffula. I don't usually give nicknames to opposition players, but I feel like we need it. I think this is the only other one I've done. Mental. Romero's long ball forward for the Brentfords. Faguli, a good tricky run, but Ben Close sorts that shit out. But Subotic wins the ball back for Brentford. James Bree to Brannigan. To Fouquier. Why does it still say Fouquier on his shirt? Never mind. Stuart Wardle to Kieran Dowell. He gets through from Michael Caine. Good save from Sergio Romero. Caine tried to go near post, which wasn't really what he should have done. But he's not a striker. Got to give him that. Oh, and he's done it again, though. I was just about to say, even though he's not a striker, he still sort of scored the first goal, and now he's sort of scored the second as well. Kieran Dowell's ball into Michael Caine. This is a very successful corner routine. It's turning out. Idrissa Gana Gay. That is an own goal. I'll concede that one. Well, they'll concede it, but I'll also concede it. That was a fucking shocking one. And it's a penalty already. Kieran Dowell gives away the most Football Manager 17 penalty I've ever seen. Just a free kick into the area and someone fouls. That's just commonplace nowadays. Faguli steps up and John Ruddy is the best goalkeeper I have had since I've been putting out YouTube videos. John Ruddy. I said last episode, or possibly the episode before, he is the difference. Brannigan, Cameron Brannigan, puts it straight at John Ruddy. Excellent. I see no reason to make any changes at half time. We're going to stay as we are. We've had the better of the match. It's been fairly even, but we've had the better of it. Usami's ball over the top. Brannigan. Cameron Brannigan comes back to bite the hand that once fed him, aka me. John Ruddy lets in a near post goal. I don't think you can really blame John Ruddy for that one though, Mr. Commentator. Brannigan was in so much fucking space. I don't know how the defence allowed that. But, yeah, I guess John Ruddy should have done better at the near post. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I've dropped Wardle back to a deep line forward support. Owen the Impact Jones is coming on for Barry Smith as a poacher. And I'm going to change Kieran Dowell's role to a trequista, which we have not seen since the glory days of Billy Clark. Kieran Dowell comes in as a trequista, and my thinking is they're looking very solid. Brentford are looking very solid and very difficult to break down. So we want to drag players out of position. Owen the Impact Jones is going to be working the channels and trying to get himself into the box, into goal scoring positions. Wardle is going to drop back, which is what he does better anyway. In fact, should we change him to a false 9? No, we'll keep him as deep line forward. And Kieran Dowell is just going to drift into any space he can find. And I think he's smart enough to do that. Off the ball is very good from him. Anticipation, very good. So yeah, I think he can do that fairly well. And no, that's all I'm going to do. That is all I'm going to do. Own the Impact Jones. I have faith in you, my friend. Get out there. Instantly, we've got a free kick and Dowell, I think, hits the post. I couldn't tell whether it was a Romero save or a post hitter. I think it was the latter. Dowell swings in another. It's headed away. No penalty for that free kick. Danny Wilson now with the ball in Brentford's half. Fulton to Kieran Dowell to Fulton. You can see Dowell just getting into that space, doing well. Oh, but Brentford have won the ball back. Here's Usami, the Japanese winger. Brannigan with a great ball over the top for James Wilson. And James Wilson forces a good save from John Ruddy. And I will take that as a warning. Thank you very much. So I'm clearing everything, putting us on standard flexible and changing to 2 banks of 4, 4-4-1-1, because Brentford are coming at us over the top with direct passes, so we want to be able to actually drop that line back a little bit deeper. And the 2 banks of 4 are going to make us more solid. We've got Brad Potts on the right wing coming on for Stuart Wardle, who is going to be a defensive winger. Yunus Belanda is coming on for Ben Close on the left wing. He's going to be an attacking wide playmaker, getting into advanced positions, and he can afford to do that because at fullback we are dropping back as well, defensive fullbacks, just to try and stem the tide from Brentford. Because although we've had a fair few highlights lately, they've had the better ones, I think. We've had more set piece related stuff. Okay, about 15 minutes to go, and we're just going to go counter-attacking. Just drop us back that little bit further. Cameron Brannigan has gone off injured. That is very good news. But this is not. 1 minute to go, and there is a highlight, and Brentford are in possession. Fossum. Fulton wins the ball. Good lad. Kieran Dowell to Michael Caine. Michael Caine to Brad Potts. To Michael Caine again. Dowell. Only Impact Jones has a go. Oh, saved by Romero onto the post. Fucking hell. I'd rather have John Ruddy on bloody £6,000 a week than Romero on 48 grand a week any day of the week. Michael Caine. There it is. It's over. 2-1 to the Frangerine Dreamers, to the Seasiders, Blackpool FC. Oh, good solid performance. And this is what I love about this year's Blackpool team. Weirdly, just as a side note, Michael Caine's been shit this season. Michael Caine. This is the first season he has been shit, and I have no idea why. It's the first time we've had this much competition in central midfield. So that might be something to do with it, but I don't know. He's just been bad consistently. Anyway, yeah, this is what I love about this Blackpool team this season. When we need to dig in, we can dig in. We can shut up shop and we can keep the opposition out. When we need to go forward, we can. If we want to go, if we're chasing the game and we want to throw more people forward, we can, and we're able to do that, and we're good at doing that. We are flexible in what we can do with this team, which I absolutely love. And yes, as I'm looking at the screen, I'm absolutely going to concede. We were lucky as shit to win this match. We were so fucking fortunate. But I don't care. This first one, the fuck yeah own goal, that was a Michael Caine goal. Michael Caine. I'm not having that. That was a Michael Caine goal. The second one was close to being a Michael Caine goal. It was sort of going at the post, I think, so it wasn't too far wide. But Idrissa Gueye absolutely scored an own goal for that one. And then they missed a penalty as well, and it ended 2-1. So I'll concede that we were lucky, but I think we're making our own luck at the minute, and I am very pleased. Well, we had some good times, Dunk. We had some good times. Do you remember back in the day, way back in the day, when Everton appointed Duncan Ferguson as manager? I think it was probably, what was it? It was probably about 7 in-game months ago. In fact, it will tell me somewhere on here, won't it? Since March. He's been there since March, so 8 months ago. Yeah. They've not been great, Everton. They're currently 18th in the Championship, so they can actually fear for their safety in the Championship, which isn't too good. Again, Franny Jeffers is favoured to take over. I'll be honest with you, right? I'll be absolutely honest. I have no intention, and I never have had any intention, of ditching this Blackpool team for anyone else. If Everton got relegated to League One, I think I'd have to go with it. I think I'd have to jump ship and try and take them back up. League One Everton is not something I've seen in one of my saves before. But I'm fairly sure they'll sort it out. I'm fairly sure, so we won't have to cross that bridge if we come to it. And even if that did happen, I'd probably still carry on with Blackpool and just branch the save out anyway, so not to worry. Just while I've been reminded, actually, I completely neglected to tell you about Carl Dempsey, who has featured twice this season and scored once. But I think the damage is sort of done with him now, and now the damage is literally done because he's torn his calf muscle. He tore his calf muscle in September, end of September. He's been out 6 weeks, and he's out for another 7 to 10 weeks. But I really mean the damage has been done over the last 2 years with his performances, because he's just not showed up for us where we needed him. So, I mean, in the summer, I think I showed you, he was worth £3.5 million in the summer. His contract's up at the end of the season. I don't think I'll renew it. Weird as that is, because no one's going to pay that much for him unless maybe he starts, getting back to top form like he was when we were in League One. But he's not going to play for me because he's been shit for us for the last 2 years, so he'll never get that form back. So there's no point tying him down to another extension. So probably the biggest disappointment of the series so far, Carl Dempsey. You probably won't see any more of him, if I'm being honest. Although I can quite easily imagine a world where we get into the playoffs this year and he comes on and scores the winner. That would be bloody brilliant. Not that I'm getting ahead of myself or anything. Oh, Sunderland next as well. We're first, Sunderland are third. Who's actually in between us? Leeds are in between us. 1 point behind me, 2 above Sunderland. Oh, it's a very big match. I love that Kevin Phillips is the manager. I forgot to show you that. That was quite a while ago, I think. Not that long ago. He joined a year ago. Actually his first managerial job, and of course it's with Sunderland. Ah, great man, Kevin Phillips. If you've been watching my Versus videos, please suggest to me people who could take on Kevin Phillips, because I want to work him into a Versus video. Bit of pre-transfer news as well. It's exciting, isn't it? We've agreed to sign Joachim Holmberg. He's a left-footed centre-back, which I've already got about 3 of, so we don't particularly need him in that sense. But he's 6 foot, he's Swedish, he's capped at under 21 level, and what really intrigues me about this player is his mental stats. Not even in terms of his defensive mental stats, but just in terms of his mental stats. Like, I don't actually usually do this, agree to sign a player without having 100% knowledge of him, but my scouts reckon he's got some serious potential, and he is a very determined and very hard-working player. So I think whatever his highest threshold for potential is, he can reach it. I'm not sure if it'll be as a centre-back, because, you know, looking at his heading, looking at his jumping, his positioning, I'm not sure. I think I can mould him into a pretty decent midfielder, but that remains to be seen. In fact, he's not that good technically anyway, so in fact, yeah, possibly a midfielder. I think he can do it. So more on that in January when we sign him for real. But welcome in advance, Joachim Holmberg. Here we go then. It's the big one. It's the showdown. First against third. Sunderland against Blackpool. The Black Cats against the Blackpool. the Red and Whites against the... No, there's nothing in that. Anyway, let's see who Sunderland have got. They've got Reece Burke, who is a good, solid defender, it looks like. Yeah, I'd probably have him playing at right back too. Good shout. They've got him at right back. They've got David and they've got Jack Rodwell at centre back. Bloody hell, full circle for old Jack. He started his career at Everton as an out-and-out centre back. He moved into midfield with Everton, then Man City, then Sunderland, and now he's dropped back into the centre back position for Sunderland. And gotta say, I'm a big fan of that decision as well. I was about to say who's the Sunderland manager and go have a look, but of course it's fucking Kevin Phillips, isn't he? He knows what he's doing. Look at this, straight away, 2 players. Nailed it in terms of positioning, I think. They've got Size in defensive midfield. They've got Perkins and Torrell. John Torrell, bloody hell, in the central midfield. He's pretty good. And they've got Appleyard on the right wing, a regen who is quick as fuck. William on the left. I think we have run into you before, Mr. William. Most likely at Sunderland. And they've got Hines up front. Caelan Hines from Arsenal. Now then, I'm going to give him a cheeky scout because he looks very, very good. Exactly the kind of rounded player I like to have in my squad. Aggression and decisions lets him down actually, but I'm still going to give him a scout. I thought for a split second, I glanced at this bench and I thought they had Seth Johnson on the bench. Was that his name? That was his name, wasn't it? The ex-Leeds man. Alas, no, it's Simon Johnson. And they've got no one really of note on the bench. Oh, they've got Roy Behrens, who I've considered signing a couple of times, but he's old and slow and a winger, so nah. We've made quite a few changes for this game, which is not something I've done that much this season, but we'll start at the back and go forward. Kieran Freeman isn't in great form, so I've brought in Lee Hodson for his first start of the season. Obviously, he spent the first couple of months of the season with a broken leg, so he's only just got back to fitness probably about a month ago, and now I'm giving him his chance to get into the first team. Luke Higgins picked up an injury that will keep him out for a couple of weeks, so James Husband comes back into the team. Higgum had actually only been in the team for a few weeks because Husband got injured. Higgum came in and was playing so well that, I just kept him in. But injury has forced him back out again. And in what I'm sure is pretty much an unprecedented move, I've dropped Michael Caine. What do you have to say about that, Michael?
Perhaps you should start learning to make your own bed.
Oh, mate, that's a weird thing to say about getting chopped from the starting 11. But Ben Close is in his spot in the box-to-box midfielder role. Brad Potts comes back in as the ball winner, as he does. And we've got Kieran Dowell behind Danny Philliskirk and George Hurst. Because while I do have a lot of faith and a lot of expectation for Barry Smith and Stuart Wardle. I've played them in 2 games in a row. They did well in the first one, not so great in the second one. So let's bring them back out now. Let's give them a rest, take the pressure off a bit, and they can come back later. So yeah, the more established strikers come in. Okay, it's a free kick for Sunderland that they've brought straight forward. Perkins to Torrell to Krusnell on the left. Appleyard's there. The nippy little winger has scored at the far post. Advantage Sunderland, and we have not been in it for this first 20 minutes. But we don't need to panic. All we're going to do... Well worked, little goal. All we need to do is go to counter. That's all we're going to do, and try to catch them on the break a bit more. Torrell to Perkins to Hines. Sunderland coming forward again. Here's Reece Burke at right back. Burke to Appleyard. Appleyard, the nippy as fuck winger, crosses it into the far post, and Williams scores. By the looks of it from 2D, I think John Ruddy and Ash Kigbu might have collided there. What happened? Appleyard got to the byline. He looks fucking brilliant, Appleyard. Ruddy came in, and just missed it, and Ash Kigbu ducked. For fuck's sake, guys. Lee Hodson just weren't interested either. Oh, this is not a good start. Perkins crossed it in. David, good save, John Ruddy. Okay. Fuck it, let's go attacking for the last 5 minutes of the half, because I don't want to go in at half time 2-0 down. It's not something we've done at all this season. Oh, we've given it away. It's another Sunderland bit of possession. Krusnell to William, to Torrell, puts it through for Hines. Oh, good save. Well, not really a good save. It was straight at John Ruddy, but I'll take it. It's a corner for Blackpool. We've still got time for a goal. Oh, Jesus. Williams won the ball off Michael Caine. And it looks like we won't have a highlight this half, and we may go in 3-0 down. Torrell to Perkins. Blow the bloody whistle. Appleyard to William. Straight at Ruddy. Woof. Okay. Aggressively. Show me something else. I'm not going to change anything around. I'm going to put us back on control that we started the match in, and I'm going to tell them to get the fuck back out there and sort themselves out. Okay, we've got 27 minutes or thereabouts to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on Chatham, Belander and Owen the Impact Jones in this 4-2-3-1 system. It's worked before. I'm hopeful that it'll work again. And I'm going to put... No, in fact, I'm going to keep us on control. So those are all the changes we're making. Come on. Shake it up. That's a Mourinho-style double sub. Triple sub, even. Krusnell to Roy Behrens. Plays it inside for Torrell. So much space for Hines. Straight at Ruddy again. How is it only 2-0? Corner for us. Come on, Chatham cross it in. For fuck's sake. Appleyard cuts inside. Has a go. Straight at Ruddy. Jesus, this is the worst game of the season by a country mile. Potts has won the ball for us. He's giving it away, though, straight away. Roy Behrens coming forward. Has a go. Straight to John Ruddy. I think John Ruddy's going to get a good individual score for this match just by default. He's actually not. 6.2. But he's caught a lot of things, but he's not been challenged at all, except for the 2 goals. And there we go. Just by a mile, the worst performance of the season. Granted, we're against a good club with a good manager, good players, and they did play very good football. And that is a thinker. That is a thinker for me, because up until that point, we were sitting on top of the league, and I thought, yeah, we can go up automatically this season. We can chase automatic promotion. Sunderland just completely outclassed us. They didn't give us a sniff. There were lessons to be learned from this match, namely, I think we need Michael Caine. I think he's just a crucial part of this team. Secondly, we need to scout Kendall Appleyard because he looks fucking brilliant. And I might use wingers again someday, who knows. And the rest of the lessons I will work out before our next episode, hopefully, and put on a bit of a better display. I mean, neither of those matches have been particularly good displays. We were kind of lucky to get that win over Brentford, and we just didn't turn up for this match against Sunderland. But I think we can still be quite confident of finishing high up if we beat the teams that we are meant to beat. I mean, to be fair, that's not many teams. But for me, it's most teams in the league. It's just that top bracket of teams I don't think we can quite compete with. But if we can finish this season in a playoff place, I will be very happy. Which, as you know, is not like me at all. I am not happy with the playoffs at any point. But I think that would be a brilliant achievement. And I'd be very happy with it. So, that is where I'm going to leave this episode, guys. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying this series, if you've enjoyed this episode. Please also check out mine and Freddie's individual channels, Franjo and Freddie Ado. We've got some non-Football Manager gaming content on there. And apart from that, I will see you next time. Bye!